Hello and welcome to the PM Show, your weekly roundup of what's new and going on in the PM world. Good morning and may the 4th be with you, gentlemen. Hence, t-shirt, got the mug, got an A-wing.
Good morning.
That's it. I didn't realise until it came up on my phone this morning that literally every day in May is something to do with Star Wars. Because I think it's like the 7th is Imperial Day. So, and on the 27th we've got obviously Top Gun 2 coming out and Obi-Wan. So now I'm drawn. Do I go and see Top Gun 2 or binge Netflix?
From what I've seen, Top Gun's supposed to be really good.
Yes, I must admit I've heard a few good things about it. So
which surprises me actually, but
it's always the thing, isn't it, with a sequel? Yeah. It's got big boots to fill out, especially when it's been like 30 odd years later. Yeah. So, are you rushing off to see it, Matt?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Got my tickets booked. Everything.
Look, when we're up at yours, we can all go and see it.
You can. You're more than welcome to go.
Have you got a local flea pit that'll fit us all in?
We've got a very nice cinema up here.
Yeah, there is actually. Yeah, there is a nice one, isn't there? Yeah.
Really nice one, yeah. The View.
The View, very nice.
Nice one up here, yeah. Yours.
Well, we got a nice one. You just have to brush the seats and take some antibacterial wipes with you. It's fine.
It's cheap, though.
It's cheap and cosy.
Yeah.
You might as well go round Andy's. It's got a bigger screen at Andy's than they got in the cinema. Anyway, what's new? What's been happening this week? Did we have a good bank holiday?
We had a very nice bank holiday. Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
Lots of sales over the bank holiday?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did actually. Yeah, very good. So, had a bit more of a clear out with our surplus stock that we're offloading. So,
yes,
a lot of that has gone.
With our giant special sale that's still going on.
So there's still some bits and bobs left. So grab it while it's in.
Yep. And to be honest, because obviously everybody thinks when you're having a clearance sale, it's the dross or crap, as I call it. But actually, we got some really nice stuff in here, and it's amazing how much of this I've built. So Lancaster, done that one. There's a few other ones we were going through them here, the ones we were doing.
That 14th Ratchet is a really nice one, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. Some really nice, especially with the cars as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So some old classics down there, and to say the Dragon stuff is pretty legendary. So there's some very nice stuff in there, especially the half tracks and things like that as well.
Coming to a vlogcast near you.
Yes, there is. That could be next week's one.
Yeah, in the future.
The future.
A lot of it has gone, like I say. So it's getting, it'll be up till it's gone. Once it's gone out of stock, it gets deleted, and that's it.
Yeah, that's it. Well, like we said before, if you do want it, after it's gone, we can probably still get things in as special orders and stuff like that, but we're just not going to be carrying these lines anymore. No. So if you do fancy them, we can still get them. Let us know and we'll get them in for you. But it's not stuff that we're going to have on the shelf because we're diversifying into other things.
We are.
Candle making.
Yeah.
And it won't be, if you're thinking of like having the Shackleton, and it goes out of stock now, you want to order one tomorrow, it won't be at the 25%.
No, obviously it will be at full price.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, that's the discount bit, and then if we look to new arrivals,
over to new arrivals,
a few bits come in. Obviously, the Spitfires.
Is that the one I've got?
Different boxing.
Oh, is it? Right.
But yeah, I think it is the Kit Kat one, isn't it? One of them.
No. I must admit, Airfix did send me the other day. If we can reach it, I can't reach it. This is the Mark something VC.
The Mark 5C?
Yeah.
Okay, what, in 48?
I don't know. It's in my pile. I know, I think it's 72nd.
That's one that's one that Pranjit did, isn't it?
Is it little Pranjit's one?
Yes, must be.
Or Pranjit's little one, not little Pranjit. Pranjit's
not little Pranjit, it is model plane.
Way around. But yeah,
yes.
You know what I mean. That's a good little kit. Nathan loves that kit, doesn't he?
Yeah. It is.
3 of them.
Very nice. So yeah, a couple of new Spitfires coming down. Obviously, we're not that far off now. Thinking the giant one might turn up soon.
Yeah, a couple of months again to that.
September, I think they're on about back end of the summer.
Yeah.
So we got that one. Nice to see a proper release from obviously the troubles that started over in Ukraine. We got ICM's Gotha that's come out now.
We've also had the Arctic Cobras in there for the people that pre-ordered them, so they've been invoiced this morning as well.
So it's really nice to see that ICM are starting to get things back going again as well. So that's very, very nice.
Yes.
And the bits and pieces we sort of spoke about last week, didn't we? So that's down in there. But
not much change, not much been released, to be honest. It's still a little bit quiet. So hopefully, like say next quarter, we'll be cranking up a bit for stuff coming out.
Yes, definitely. That's good. Right, where do you want to go next?
Just go into special offers.
Special offers. You can go down here.
So obviously we've had a few bits in there that you mentioned on Friday.
Yeah.
But if you go to the Italeri Jags, we've got the big cat in as well.
Yes. So this is the retirement scheme for the Jaguar. And again, it's I can't remember who did the decals for it now, but it did it in 48th and all the rest of it. So now obviously you can get them from Italy. We've got the decals in the boxing for it. I think you only get that one scheme in there though, don't you, with that particular kit? It's going to be a huge decal sheet with all the little smoke rings on it.
So you can do your Jaguar as a leopard look.
You can do proper, Jaguar as a leopard. Do your Jaguar spots right the way over it. I must admit, I've got the book. They did the retirement book. I've shown it on camera many times as well. It's got some fantastic ones of the retirement schemes because they did 3, didn't they? They did one with full wraparound camo. They did the desert one, which was repainted, and then obviously they did the Jaguar, that one as well, the big cat one. And it is incredible artwork on that particular one. It's nice. That's when the RAF used to spend money and do things like that.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, that's it. So, but really nice kit. And to be honest with you, we've spoken about this before. That's going to be my next build.
Which, we're not doing that box.
I'm not doing that particular one. I'm doing the other one here.
I don't know if
it's the same kit.
Bill, you know what you should do is build that one as a homage to your 48th one. As its little brother.
Yes,
and
I
the
could
Arctic
do.
one.
The Arctic, yes. Could be a good call, actually. We do a mini-me version. They can both fit in the same cabinet.
You can, yeah. I don't know, what was you going to do it in? Are you doing a desert one or are you doing that one? Or
I was going to, because to be honest, as I say, the reason for doing this kit, if people don't know, is that many, many years ago in the late 90s, it was one of the first ever video builds I did when I was just hands and used, my cutting mat was awful and it wasn't good. So I was going to go back and redo that particular kit, but I did the T4 version, is it? Or the T2, whichever one it was.
Yeah, you did
two-seater, but it's the same kit, it's just got a different front end on it. Yeah. So I thought it'd be interesting to go back and do it and see how I would do it now. Because the last one used quite a bit of filler, but in those days it's got more filler because I wasn't as careful with dry fitting.
Yeah.
Now I'm very much onto dry fitting. I would rather spend an hour dry fitting and making it go, whereas before it'd just be we'll glue it together and we'll fill it. But now I must admit I work the other way, and so it'd be interesting to see how that one goes together and does. But it's actually not a bad kit. It holds its, considering it's quite old. It's a really nice kit of the Jag.
I built one years ago when I was doing a 30-second tornado in the desert scheme, and I wanted to test the extra acrylics paint because I've never used it before. So I built one of those in desert scheme, and it was nice little kit. Yeah.
So yeah, that's going to be my next build, which will come along after this little lump, which is going into paint hopefully this afternoon. So we'll be good with that one. So very nice. So yeah, so the Jags are up, and again for 20 quid, it's a nice kit, and you get some nice markings in that one as well as obviously with Big Cat as well. It's a little bit cheaper because obviously you don't get as many marking options into it.
Yeah. So we're going to have a reshuffle of this actually. I think at some point because there's just stuff been up there for a little bit now. So we're going to have a little bit of a move around of that. Might do it tomorrow if we get a chance.
Yes.
And so yeah, that's the discounted bit.
Very nice. And obviously up on pre-order, and obviously this has been spoken about and we were talking about it just before, we've got the Ghost of Kiev. So very nice as well. So this is their own ICM kit.
Yes.
But the big thing with this one, 50% of all funds that are donated will go to the armed forces of Ukraine. So that's good.
Worthy cause.
A very, very worthy cause. So, as we spoke about before, the Ghost of Kiev was admitted by the Ukrainian military yesterday that it's actually all Ukrainian pilots is the Ghost of Kiev, not just one person, because again, some paper got hold of it last week saying that the pilot was killed last week, and it wasn't. That's not the case. But,
are they saying that though? Just
well, this is it.
Divert the,
I'll be honest with you, I'm amazed they're still flying. I have to tip my hat to the Ukrainians because let's face it, in any modern warfare, the first thing you do is go for basically air superiority and airfield denial. Because you can't land, they can't take off, they can't go anywhere. And to having them still, it must be a right pain in the Russians' arse, knowing that they're taking off and flying around and still doing strikes, air intercept stuff as well. Yeah, it's got to be a bit of a bugbear to them.
Just shows you how bad the Russians' tactics were to start off with, doesn't it? For not.
Again, I don't want to get political on here, especially on this show, but it's one of those things. I think it just shows the shortcomings of the Soviet forces stuff and equipment, that it's all been bigged up as being like, oh, it's fantastic, but actually it's not. You know, the two things that's sticking out for me at the moment is the way that obviously turrets still get blown off of tanks, and they've known that since the 90s.
Well, that's because of the autoloaders, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the autoloader system. But that picture, the one when it's on a third-storey flat, the turret is in the third-storey flat, been embedded in the building where it had blown off, is amazing that can still happen. And the way their attack helicopters armour, they don't have. So they were always on about how the KA 50s, 2s and all the rest of it were supposed to be almost bulletproof. And they've got damage going through them from shrapnel, and it looks like the crews don't even ever have any armour plating. So it just seems to be one of those where I can't believe it's actually happened like that. You know, to bluff and ball is one thing, but, you know, yeah. Anyway.
It'd be interesting to see the, is it the May Day parade or whatever they have that's coming up, is it the 9th?
Yes.
They have a big parade to see what gets fielded there to go through the centre.
Yes.
It's say fingering around in circles like we used to at Chieftains in Birmingham.
Yeah, that's it.
Only 6 of them, but they keep going round.
Keep going round in circles and different sides, so they look like they're different numbers on each side.
You can have them magnetic numbers, can't they? Just
that's it.
Just stick some more numbers.
Just change them round. Is it number 12? No, it's number 21.
Yeah.
Here it goes.
Yeah, 210.
Yeah, but no, again, very interesting kit. The kit itself, let's just be honest, is not the best kit out there of it. It's quite an old one, but I think most of us who will be getting that kit, it's done more for, one, the benefactory, obviously 50% going to, and it's just of what it is. You know, it's one of those, let's face it, that's not beat around the bush. The kit's not brilliant. But the idea, the boxing and the decals and all the bits and pieces are. So
yeah.
Shame they get hold of another kit, rebox it and put the decals on.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, Trumpy one.
Yeah, get the Trumpy one. Definitely.
That wasn't what I was thinking of.
I know.
No, but you wouldn't do that, Andy. That's part of it. You wouldn't be using said other kit. You buy a trumpeter one, which is half as bad, but yeah.
Yeah, a better option than what's in the box.
Definitely. But anyway, if you are interested, obviously we have got it up on a pre-order now with this one. So we got it on a pre-order at $17.28 if you are interested in that particular one.
They are actually expected possibly end of this month, so get pre-orders in quick if you want one of them, and also the next one that feels about you.
Yes, definitely. Anyway, that's that one, and the other one we're showing obviously is the ICM Counter Invader. So again, very cool aircraft. This is the early version, so we can expect all the different versions of this one coming out as well. I like the way also they've now proudly put the made in Ukraine. It's basically just doing this a lot, isn't it? So yeah, I do like the way that they've done that now. But anyway, that's another very interesting aircraft. Funny enough, I was watching a YouTube video about one that's been brought back to life about that one. Very nice, because this is the one with the massive guns at the front, isn't it? It's basically a massive strafing light bomber. So very nice.
Kermit's got an invader they've been doing, haven't they, at his place? On and off. Yeah, I've shown you something. They haven't done a video on it for a long time, but there's an invader somewhere that they were working on in one of his hangars.
If you think you name a plane, he's probably got one of them. So.
Well, yeah, it's probably
got a Lancaster,
in an ISO container somewhere.
Lancaster, yeah.
He's got a Lancaster.
Yeah, I saw that the other day.
Trouble is, isn't it? When you get these collectors, they have so many of them. You've got to either have a massive budget to keep it like Elon Musk, to keep all these things airworthy or workable and all the rest of it. Otherwise, they just sort of fall into disrepair or living their life in crates and stuff. So, yeah.
I think like how long it takes to do one to get it airworthy. I don't think however much money you've got, you've got to have parts made now, haven't you? And you've got to refab a load, and you've got to. And God, it must be. I don't know. It's kind of soul destroying because it takes so long to get to the end.
Just Jane was a 10-year project, isn't it? And it's only on its 5th year now.
Yeah.
And that wasn't in that particularly bad condition, was it, when they first started?
No.
So,
No.
yeah.
But again, it's that thing, isn't it? You're talking, it's like we're saying with Just Jane, it's 10 years.
Yeah.
I can't even think what I'm doing next week, let alone 10 years' time. So that's a commitment, isn't it? Not only financially, but of your life, of 10 years. That's what you're working on, one project.
Yeah.
That's a
That
big
is
project,
proper
though, isn't it?
commitment. Oh, it's a massive project. And if she does fly again, and I know that's the hope for her, isn't it?
Yeah.
It'd be fantastic to do it, but you are giving up your life on a project like that, which is like me working on the Hornet last month. That's what it felt
nearly
like.
did.
It felt
You
like
did
10
give up
years.
your
Well,
life.
yeah, it nearly did take me life, but yeah.
And
But
was
yeah,
it worth it, Phil?
Oh, absolutely. It's still fun because I've got nowhere to put it. I'm bringing it up to you. You can stick it up on the mezzanine.
I don't want to. I've got no room for.
It's
got no
sat
room
here
for
in front
tat.
of me because literally I've got nowhere to put it.
I'm afraid I've had a clear out of Ravel now, so I don't want no.
Oh, right.
more.
Okay. Fair enough. It looks great to me sat here, but I literally need to move it somewhere, especially starting a second project. So I just got it. Won't fit in my cabinet unless I take the winglets off. If I take the outer wings off, I can just about get it in there. And I know some people were on about having it at an angle and stuff, but as we saw on one of our members, moving cabinets and things on angles doesn't work.
What about putting it in the spare room and retiring the P40?
Yeah, with the P40, have you noticed? Did you press the button when you were in there the other day? It's
It
died.
worked.
No, the sound works, but the prop doesn't spin.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't notice that. We did. Yeah, I did press it all. I think you might have pressed the button. Whoever pressed it, right? And the noise worked, but
The noise works, but the motor's gone.
Oh.
So it's like, that's the only trouble with people putting lighting and motors in models. We said before is that they're great, but if something doesn't work, how are you going to get in there and change out the motor or the lighting?
You can't. It's added.
That's it. So
Could it just be the battery's not powerful enough to?
no, to be honest, before Matt came down, we cleared the room and all the rest of it, and I did do the thing of check it, and the sound worked and fine, and I did think that, so I changed out the batteries for it, and no, it's just the motors had it. So
Just in other news, actually, there's a rumour that Hobby 2000 are re-releasing that said P40 and 32nd, the Asagawa,
really nice kit, yeah.
which would be nice if it's true, because they'll probably do a few versions as well. So, because obviously the 48th ones, didn't they?
Yes.
A couple of years ago. So yes, the 32nd one, like I say, is probably the best in scale by a long way. The Asagawa one, when you can get hold of them.
Yeah,
So that'd be nice. And obviously with the Edard one, I still think you can get all the aftermarket stuff because it's all available. So
yeah, no, it is. The second one we're talking about, look, it's on our little intro. Look, there it is. Look, Matt's excellent figure painting in there.
Yeah.
All right,
I think I
Matt's
could do a
figure
better
painting in
job
there.
now, shall we say?
I think it's all right. I think it looks fantastic. So,
Do you know what? I don't think it actually does make a difference having a figure in it.
oh yeah, of course it does. It brings it to life. I think that's the same with everything. It's a bit like I've got the JP ones to go in here because without it, it's missing.
Yeah.
The main part of it's missing.
Especially 32nd as well. I think it's it's a decent. I think when you get 72nd, it's kind of a bit small, but
yeah.
In that scale, especially in single-seater fighters as well, it works. I tell you, if they do release it and they do a Tomahawk or a Kitty Hawk or whatever in Desert RAF,
Yeah.
We're still waiting for the Great Wall Hobby one, aren't we?
that's coming late, but back end of the year, isn't it? On the next order, I think.
Yeah.
Comes
I'll
in.
tell you what, that does look particularly tasty though. That one.
It does.
That might be an itch that I might scratch next year because, as I say, I know it'll be the third time I've done a Kitty Hawk. So the reason I did this one is that I built this kit is its original factor when it first got released by Hasegawa, and that was a video build. And then we did this one with the base and with everything thrown at it. Matt did the figure for it. So again, I might be Kitty Hawked or P40'd out by this time. So
Never.
It's still a cool aircraft. It's still the best looking aircraft. But Shark's Mouth is just designed for it.
You know, from my lack of obviously aircraft building at the minute, I could build P40s and not get bored, and I could probably just build them in desert camo, RAF desert camo with shark mouths and all the other bits easier. I'm not, But then, like you say, the US ones as well had some really cool schemes on them, didn't they? So
no,
don't know. It's just one of them aircraft in it. I'd take that over a Mustang or a Spitfire or a P47 or a 109 or any of them. I'd build that, or them all day long.
No, they are very, very cool aircraft, I must admit.
Even Andy liked his Airfix one, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah.
Cracking kit that was. Really, really nice kit.
Funnily enough, I've dug the little starter set one, my Airfix starter set one that I was thinking of just doing as a quick video build. As hooked onto my-
It's all right. Don't worry out the door. I've got staff today. It's fine. She can answer it. She's on leave for 2 weeks. So yes, but no. As I say, very much overlooked aircraft, the P40. I'm looking forward to seeing that particular one because obviously it's got full internal details as well.
Yeah.
So it's very much like the Zucchimori type kits where they've got everything internal, as you can see. So yeah, just a shame when you close them all up, obviously.
So just going back, if that Hobby 2000 one is obviously, more than a rumour,
Yes.
we'll get them up on pre-order for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As soon as we know.
Yes.
Don't forget, Ford Sierra.
Fortiera, is that in here?
Yeah.
Where?
Andy's not put it at the top, so you'll have to scroll down.
Yeah.
Do I have to go to the bottom?
Oh, there you gone past there. Go. What? DM models.
DM models.
DM models, Ford Sierra, Codsworth. There we go.
So there's 2 flavours.
Nice.
That's the
Andy
Malcolm
knows all
Wilson.
about these.
Yeah, it's fair. I remember these well, to be honest with you. It was after the demise of Group Bs and so on. They're trying to decide what to do with it and things in the Cosmos 4x4s.
Very nice. So we've got that one and we've got the other one, yeah? Where is it? There we go. Very nice.
Got enough spotlights on the front to
I was going to say, is enough, and it.
make sure you see where they're going.
They do look very detailed kits, though.
I was going to say, full internal details in there
Yeah,
with the harnesses.
it's a
and
new
all bits.
manufacturer, so we'll have to wait and see
Mm-hmm.
what they look like. But yeah, they look very nice.
Very
Again, I
nice
think
indeed.
this has got to be the first tooling of a Ford Sierra Cosworth. As in, is that my door? Hold on. Sorry, I thought my door had gone and I could hear a banging.
Did Tanya not do one?
Yeah, no, they did the whale tail one, the 2-door. This is a Sapphire, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Called
Yeah.
Cosworth, not a original. So, as far as I know, this is the first tooling of said model of a Sierra.
Does look nice though. Yeah.
Does it?
But yeah, it does look a nice kit. So yeah, if you're interested, put your names down. This, I think they were date doing of September, so it's going to be a shortish pre-order, so we can make sure we get the numbers in that we need. So if members, you want one, please get your name down quick.
Wasn't it the Sierra where if you shut all the doors together, the sunroof would pop open?
That was all Fords, weren't it?
All Fords, but then they fixed it. They fixed that problem because my mum had the estate version. I think she had like the 1.8L or whatever it was.
Nice.
And the trouble with that one is that if you slammed the car door shut, the back windscreen popped out, which it did twice, and then crashed on the floor. Literally, the back window, because obviously it's the estate version, just would blow out. Because we were saying, well, that's because they fixed the sunroof now to stop it popping open. The air's got nowhere to go, so it used to blow the back window, but it happened to her twice.
That's good seal, wasn't it?
It is. It's proper airtight.
Proper airtight for us to suffocating it.
Yeah, that's it. Get left in there as a 7-year-old kid, like the window's suffocating.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it did it twice to her. I was in the car when it happened both times and had to explain to my dad that no, she wasn't doing something stupid, because clearly, as I would appreciate now as an older male, things like that don't just happen. You know, so as my dad used to point out, and actually it did, because I was in the car as well, and literally she got in the car, slammed the door, so then it was like her fault for slamming the door. So you get in gingerly and like let the air sort of clunk.
It's a Sierra, you had to slam the door.
Well, this is it. You couldn't do that, the door cards would fall off.
That's after you'd lifted it up because the hinge had dropped.
Yeah, that's it.
At least on modern cars, they crack down a bit, don't they, when you open the door? So
Yes.
pressure
The
down.
window drops a bit. Yeah.
God, yeah, can you imagine the seals on modern cars and stuff like I say? They would just be blowing all the windows out, which is shut it, never mind. Real window. But I said to you, when we were coming down to see you a few weeks ago, that there was a Sierra on the M5 bombing down, weren't there? That Sierra Estate. And it just, blimey, you don't see them anymore. They were proper units on them as well. It weren't like trundling, you know how they're doing the classics now. They trundle slow lane and do about 60.
55 mile an hour, yeah.
Oh, they were proper going for it.
Going for it.
That's what they were designed for, isn't it?
Which is it?
Reps cars.
The
Yeah.
Replica, absolutely.
That's what my mum's was. It was an ex-Reps car. But it's funny because we are into the weather, especially here in the southwest. It's like summer's arrived, and obviously we had the bank holiday weekend. Classic cars everywhere. You know, they're all out, all been dusted off.
What,
You
broke
know,
down on
cravats.
side of
The
the road?
cravats are out, and they're all driving around in the classics with the roof down and all the rest of it. So
There's a lot actually around here. Well, you know, I know there is around the country, but we get because of the A1. I think they trundle up to. There's a lot of car shows. I think up in classic car shows around North Yorkshire and Leeds way. I think so. You always see them. You know, when you go out on a Sunday or if we're going anywhere, you see them going up. Like always, loads of Volkswagens, but they're all over anyway, aren't they? But it's nice to see the rear stuff. A lot of American cars actually. We get US cars, the big boats.
yes,
You know, imagine trying to run
taking
one of
up
those
2
across the
lanes.
field. Hey,
I've just noticed on that, on the description, it says Francois Delacour and Mickey Biazian, numbers 3 and 7.
And it's got number 12 on the car.
The 12 on the car.
Yeah.
that's a different driver.
That is a good point.
Who was he
Yes.
then?
Yes.
Who
Don't know who that one is.
drove the other one, Andy? Wilson.
Malcolm Wilson was on the other box in here with some others.
Well, there's loads on the other boxing, wasn't it? It's got about 10 names, isn't it? Yeah, look. Yes.
That's
Lots
the
and
one.
lots of
That's the
people.
version.
Yeah,
But
Malcolm.
then again, they've done it as well. Car numbers 5, 12 and 15, and it's got 3 on the box.
Yeah, that's a bit of a.
Yeah,
Slip.
okay. Brilliant.
If you get the right numbers actually in the box. Sort of thing.
Yeah.
I'll tell you
that's it.
something though, you know that's obviously a pair of them, but you could actually just make a normal Sierra.
Yeah, yeah. Absolutely. Look,
I like
car
a nice
glass.
barn
Is
fire.
that before they changed it to auto glass? They were car glass back then.
Oh, glass, yeah, yeah. At least it's got all the proper sponsors as well, isn't it? 'Cause obviously, we had a discussion about sponsorship and
Yes.
lack of, so I think it's to see. It's nice because obviously Bell Kits do quite a few rally cars, don't they? So they had the Manta. If you get
Yeah.
a Manta car, you can get Mark 1 Escort. I think is re-released a load of Italeri from the old Esky range. So
Yeah.
Mark 2 Escorts and Deltas and new as well, isn't there? New
Yeah.
under Audis and
Yeah.
Volvos and Beamers and I don't know. There's quite a few now. It's if you're into classic
Very nice.
racing, I suppose, rallying and
Yeah,
touring
that's
cars.
it. You've got everything covered these days.
Yeah,
So,
that's
very
good.
nice.
And
Very
last
good.
but not least to mention is we now are stocking Vallejo Model A paint sets, which Phil's going
Yes.
to show you now.
I've just got to try and find them.
Got
We've
the-
got a section.
Yeah, keep going. There,
Oh,
look.
look.
We need our friend to do a new thing for it, won't we?
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
nice. So yeah, we get asked about these a lot, but we've got the AFE ones as well as the full colour sets as well.
Yeah, we've got the main ones as well that we think is going to be, you know, more sellable, shall we say, rather than all of them. But yeah,
Yeah.
So if you're into your Model A rather than obviously your lacquers and stuff, then yeah.
Yeah, if you like
So-
your acrylics, we have been listening and we're sorting that out. So there we go. We've got the acrylic ranges in. So very nice as well.
And they smell nice now.
Have they changed the smell? Because obviously I've
Nice.
got old.
They've got a real nice smell.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Very fragrant.
I sent him out the other day that I've got a yellow that smells of rotten eggs.
Have you?
But I am Model A yellow and it smells horrible.
It's gone off. Chuck it.
It's almost as though like they made it of egg yolks
Is that how it went
to get
wrong?
the colour.
Yes. Don't eat it. But no, anyway, so those are in stock now. So if you want to grab those, we've got those in.
Cool.
And as I say, we'll be expanding things over the next few months as well. So keep an eye out for what we get up to on there.
Yep.
Right, should we pop over to questions?
Yep. Questions.
Okay, so Christopher says here, it says, hello gentlemen, licensing for copyright and trademarked, obviously I'll paraphrase this a little bit because we did a discussion all about it at the same time we were talking about the brilliant monogram. That you've mentioned monogram, the changes. He goes, I think something has changed recently. Was that Savo in your?
Yeah, Salvino Juniors. They've
Yes.
got moulds for the NASCARs, I think.
Are these the old monogram ones then?
Yes.
Or yeah.
Yeah, the monogram NASCARs, yeah.
Okay, from Hendrick Motorsports in NASCAR's corporation. According to a press release from them, the kit was a team effort between them and NASCAR and General Motors and Hendrick Motorsports. So NASCAR and GM wants to foster a positive brand recognition. Hendrick Motorsports wants something to sell from the merchandise hauliers that you've seen. So it looks like that might have got around that problem. But we were saying, if they have, and that is all true, which I've got no reason to doubt Chris's information here, that's what everybody should be doing. Because I said before, the bit where they get a bit antsy and they want their pound of flesh isn't good for the hobby, because obviously it pushes the prices up that if you want them in, but also surely it's free advertising for these manufacturers as well. So good on NASCAR.
I'll be honest, I don't get it. I can't get my head around it. How, you can't buy modern F1 cars.
Yeah.
How big F1 is, how much money F1 makes, generates, whatever. How many people watch it? And yet, if you wanted to build a Ferrari, say, F1 car or whatever, or your Red Bull, you can't get that car now.
No.
And you've not been able to... Sorry, I can hear stuff going on outside. And like I said, they're just not looking at the bigger picture of it, are they? Like when you go to Silverstone, say, right? There's shops, I presume. So I've never been, so I wouldn't know. But I presume there's shops there. You know what I mean? And you can't tell me, right, that if that one of them shops in there stocked, say Tamiya F1 or whoever makes these F1 cars, Revell, whatever, they wouldn't sell them on race day. You cannot say that there's people be walking out without their favourite, F1 car.
It's the where do Formula One and the teams get their pound of flesh from, though, isn't it? And then how much do they want that's going to make the kits unsellable because of they want too much money for it to for the manufacturers to do.
Yeah,
I'm sure if Tamiya went to Ferrari and said, "We want to build your 2022 Formula One racing car," Ferrari would say, "Yeah, if you give us how many ever millions and millions of tens of millions of pounds or dollars or whatever." But then it just out prices the cost of the kit, doesn't it, to make it not worth ever doing.
So. And that's what I personally just don't get, because I would have thought for brand recognition, and for people then to go on and buy perhaps the merchandise that is licensed, like T-shirts and thingies, and if anybody's ever been to Silverstone, you'll know that they only sell official merchandise. So if you go to one of the ones that flogs T-shirts and that, they're all the same because it's all F1. So, and again, they're all fixed price. There's nobody doing it cheaper or anything else like that, and that's what you have to pay. But that's how they could make their money, rather than, as you say, for something where you could have kids who could do starter set cars as well as making it up. They've got brand loyalty built into them then, to then go on and do the other things. And we're saying not everyone's going to drive around with a Ferrari car, but you'll probably buy a hat and a T-shirt and all the rest of it that goes with it.
Yeah, but it'll be funny. But Aston Martin, obviously a team. You've got Mercedes who are a team. So you've got Revell. You've got obviously say Ferrari are there, Red Bull, Alpha. You go down the list of F1 teams. These play, it's like Airfix would do well to do Aston Martin, wouldn't they? Being a British company, I know obviously they're owned by whoever now, Aston Martin, but do you know what I mean? I think they're owned by, are they owned by BMW now? Or?
Yeah, something like that.
No, is it? I don't know.
I think it's BMW, isn't it, or something?
Anyway, irrelevant. You can't tell me they won't sell. You can't tell me it wouldn't be worth doing.
No, I agree.
Because I know you can get like Fujimi doing Ferrari F1 cars, but they're all the old ones, aren't they? The 90s ones, really, or perhaps early 2000s. And then, what was that Red Bull you did? 2005?
2005, 2006. I did the Mark Webber RB6.
And I know, obviously Lotus you can still get through Tamiya, but Lotus aren't a team anymore, are they? No. But they still have to have Lotus licensing because they are a active company. I just don't know. I just think it's really odd. But it's not just F1, is it? It's across the board with all the others as well. You don't get your touring cars anymore, or I think, say, the NASCARs for the States. Because NASCAR in the US is huge, isn't it?
And also like Indy 500.
Massive.
Yeah.
You know, you don't see Indy 500 cars.
Indy 500, exactly.
Yeah.
Indy cars as well. That's massive over there. You know, just like racing in general for them with an engine is big, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like the funny cars, the drag racing.
Yeah.
It's like everything. It's not just like I'm just thinking F1, but it's across the board. It's like MotoGP bikes and World Superbikes. You just don't get any of them anymore. So it's a shame for the fans and people who are interested in motorsport how they can't get modern replicas of team stuff anymore.
But getting back, if this is a new thing, hopefully it might filter across. If they're doing it for NASCAR, then obviously IndyCar will be the obvious choice for it to move across, and then hopefully because let's face it, F1 is a bit of a law unto itself. But there may be some movement with some of the other stuff, and then it filters through again.
We're talking about model kits, but can you still get? I mean, it does mention about diecast. Do diecast companies do modern?
There's specialist ones, because to be honest, I'm on the mailing list for Merck, and you could get this year's car as a thing, and it's about 800 quid, I think it is. But I don't know if it's a detailed model or if it's just an overall, shelf setter or something else like that. And I know they did last year's as well, and I'm sure some of the other companies do them as well. And there's obviously a company who's making them as a limited type thing. But I know this year's car was mentioned in a newsletter I had a few months back that it's going to be available, blah, blah, blah. It was about 600 quid, I think it was 650 quid. It wasn't massive. So.
But do you think that's like 800 quid there's a lot of money in it, let's be honest, that's a lot of money. Like you used to get your little Matchbox, Hot Wheels, whatever, and you used to get your F1 car. So you think you're taking your young kids to watch the F1 and they become a fan? Yeah. I think you're alienating the younger kid, because don't know, just.
It is a bit funny because I must admit, Tam's got me a couple of years ago for my birthday, and it's a little radio controlled replica of the F1 cars, but it's only it's not anything flash, and it does drive around the ground and all the rest of it. But that's the closest, and the reason we got it, and it's on the shelf next to the RB6 in the lounge, because it's the only one that's out there that's affordable. To have a replica of the car. So, and that's why we sort of did it. So she's a Red Bull fan, I'm a Merc fan, so that's what we sort of did it with that one. But going back onto it, you think Lego's just released then this year's car for McLaren.
Yeah.
And it's not a stupid price, because when I first heard about it, I thought, it's going to be like horrendous. Andy knows how much they are, because he buys more than me.
It's about 150 quid, isn't it?
But it's 150 quid, and at one point they were doing it for 130 on Amazon, wasn't it? And I must admit, I was really tempted to get it, and it's big, and that's this year's car. And it's done in McLaren colours, and it's a joint thing with them, because they made then a 1-to-1 scale one, didn't they, as well? If you saw it at the last race, they had it there. And it was, as you say, so somehow Lego gets around the problem,
But you've got to think, Tamiya got Merc licensing and McLaren.
Yeah.
But they don't do the F1 cars, they do the road cars, don't they?
Yeah.
And we've had some of the Merc, that SL.
Yeah, the SLK and
super fast thing, weren't it?
Yeah.
But obviously, for whatever reason, whether it is sponsorship or whatever, they can't get near the F1 cars, which Tamiya used to be renowned for doing their F1 cars.
Yeah,
it's like them, Revell used to do quite a few. Obviously, I think Fujimi done them in the past. But I mean, you really, the Tamiya ones were,
Well, Tamiya had a time with Ferrari for many years, and then that ended a few years ago, wasn't it? And it's never come back. Yeah. So, for whatever reason that was, because they brought out the last couple of supercars, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Pretty much on par when they got released in real life. But again, something fell apart between two companies, which I assume's money.
I'm thinking back, I'm more thinking now, it's obviously not the manufacturers, because they've already got the licensing. It must be F1 that's the problem itself.
Yeah.
And it might not even be sponsorship, it might be the F1.
Mm-hmm. It does seem to be, since they went on to the new management, into the seems to have all switching from Bernie to more corporate side of it.
But anyway, go on.
It's a discussion. It's one of those things. I think what's more frustrating for us as, obviously in the business and modelers as well, is that you can't find out any information, because I've made some tentative little steps to ask people, and you don't hear anything about it. It was, I know somebody who used to sponsor like a superbike team, and I spoke to them about it, and they won't talk to you about it because it's business. So I said to them about it, and they were like, "Can't talk about that, it's business." And it's like, all right, okay, fine. It's only asking. You know, but yeah, it's one of those things. Anyway, never mind. Gary says, hi, can PM get an orange Hobby F35C in 1/72 scale? It's number 72-10. Yes.
Been
No?
asked this before.
Oh, no, we can't get those.
I don't
Did
even
they come
know
into this country?
who the distributor is or anything for orange.
Don't
It's
think we
supposed
have
to
a lot
be
of them.
really, 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 really nice kit. It's supposed to be
Yeah.
really good. But I don't know any distributors in the, you know, if anybody does shoot us a message, we'll get in touch with them and see if we can. But I don't know, you know, if you have to get them direct or what. So
I was just doing a search as we were talking on that last subject, see if I could find any information about it, but
nothing.
came out a few years ago, but I've never.
No. So I say, I'm thinking with obviously COVID and stuff like that, we don't know if said companies actually still manufacturing, because I don't think they were very big, or they were under another umbrella. You know, I don't know. I know nothing about the company. So
No, I must admit, I haven't heard about that one at all. That's completely new to me.
It's a really nice kit.
And also, he says, will we be getting the fine molds Mitsubishi F2?
possibly actually with fine molds, because yes,
Fine molds, we can.
keep an eye out with fine molds because it's making a comeback.
Yes.
I'll leave it at that.
Yes, okay. John's talking about obviously the Facebook with the MiG-29. We've covered that as well. So yes, that will be available and he's up right now. Adrian says, hi chaps, thanks for the order over the last few months. Just a quickie, I could do with a recommendation for a place or a site to get acrylic clear rods. Is it just Amazon? I spoke about it on yesterday's show and showed the details, which I won't do here because this is a freebie show. And I'm not getting paid, so I won't do it. But yes, there is a company, and I did show it on yesterday's show, where it's where I get my stuff from, and all bits and pieces. So have a look at that one. But basically, eBay, Amazon, all the rest of it. The one thing I will say, because it's a question I get asked a lot, no, there is no such thing as cheap acrylic rod. It is very expensive for what it is. Especially when you go into the bigger sizes. This is 15mm, which is perfect for the Eagle. But again, if you go up to 25mm and things like that for the 32nd scale stuff, it is horrendously expensive. But yeah. But anyway, they do different ones now. They do it with bubbles in it as well. So if you're doing a C-type scape, you could have bubbles. And
so when you look at it, it works out more expensive than brass rod, doesn't it?
Yeah, I know. And to be honest, down in there, I've got solid brass as well, but bending solid brass is a bit of a nightmare.
Yeah.
But an acrylic looks a bit sort of jetty. I do like the effect you get with it, but it is very, very expensive for what it is. It's one of those. I know some people buy the tube one, but yeah, bending it's a bit more of a nightmare with that.
Is it more expensive than a litre of fuel?
A litre of fuel? Well, depends where you are. What are we, 182 down here now?
Yeah, I think we're 180 odd for diesel. Yeah.
Yes.
I'll be walking.
Brilliant. Yeah, that's it. I must admit, my car is in eco mode now, everywhere, which I haven't done that before. And you do notice it. You put your foot down and nothing happens. It's like, okay, off we go. But yeah, it's got a setting.
Last time I put any fuel in a car, I end up flat on my face in the forecourt. So
yeah, dangerous job.
What he does, they call that bilking down here, feign injury. Anyway, yeah, so have a look at yesterday's show, Adrian, and I'll tell you all about it in there. David says, hi team, he's recently purchased the Hong Kong models kit whilst visiting Lynn. He's pleasantly surprised when the contents, it got the print of the box art, which we can see here, which is a nice little touch as well. And as he was saying, suitable for framing. Other Hong Kong kits that I have don't contain the box art prints. I think it's the first batch, isn't it, that comes with them. If I remember rightly, I don't know if they do it for all of them, but I think if it's the first run of it, they come with the prints, because AFV do it as well, and theirs first batch always come with the prints, and then after that they don't. So,
yeah, you always get some border models with their first
border
releases,
models as well. That's another one.
Not prints, but you get that resin or something extra, and after that,
extra.
I don't know if Ryfield used to do it as well. I think I can't remember. I don't know about Ryfield, but one of them did. But yeah, that's a nice touch. That nice print, isn't it?
It is a nice print as well. Yeah.
So which one have you got? The B17F, is that?
That's the F, isn't it, with the round nose? Yeah.
Yeah.
You need to change your viewing habits as well. You'll scare the grandkids off.
Yes, that's it. That's not a good look. Look, I'm half her.
Arr.
Her. So yes, but no, as I say, it would be really nice to do it. And Edard flog them now, don't they, in their print section?
Yeah.
They do. We've got some
We have some in there.
Star as well. They
Very,
do.
very nice.
It's worth getting, actually. If you want to decorate your caves or whatever, get them if you've got a bit of wall space, because them Edard ones are now. I mean, have you seen the new box art for some of the? I tell you what,
Yeah,
the weekend ones are better now than the Profies. The weekends are brilliant.
I think it's that thing, isn't it, we spoke about before, where originally box arts were so important when you walked in a model shop, especially as a youngster, because you just sold on the image. But now I think even going online, you need something even more eye-catchy, because you've got so much choice these days online. But if you've got really good box art, you're drawn to it. And so I think that's really where box arts are coming back. And Edard have twigged this as well, you know, and thinking, look, we're going to ramp this up.
Well, they've done it for a good few years.
It's better than Bobcat. Bobcat, wasn't it?
Yeah, well.
Do you remember them? They used to take the model and then Photoshop it into a really bad background and then Photoshop a crew in it and stuff.
Yeah.
It looked like, and it looked worse than my photoshopping. And if you've ever seen any of my type of photoshopping, it's like, yeah, looks like the dog did it.
There has been some poor box arts, hasn't there? That's the thing.
I have still got a file on my computer upstairs about bad box arts. So one of our shows we will talk about bad box art, because I've been going along over the last couple of years saving images for this conversation. Because some of them are brilliant.
That's thing for a vlog, innit? For a vlogcast of box art.
A vlogcast, we will discuss terrible box art.
It was Roy Cross's birthday not long, a couple of days back, when it's all over social media. So belated happy birthday to him, because obviously he did the original box arts for Airfix, weren't there?
Yeah,
ones we all know.
Yeah.
Even got a book. I've got a book on his box art.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's here or at home, but they were proper box art, weren't they?
Yes, definitely. Anyways, a couple of questions attached to this one. It says, why do no other kit manufacturers do... Oh, it's the same questions. Do box art. Again, I think it comes down to cost, you know. Obviously, boxing size, as we're talking about as well, because obviously your print can only be the size of your box. Otherwise, it has to be rolled up, and that takes up space. As we now know, obviously, I think Edard dropped the idea of doing it purely because of that. But yeah, a lot of it, I think, is just down to cost.
Well, like we said, a lot of them have done and do in limited runs, don't they? But
again, though, you'd think, you know, because obviously the Airfix box art that you get from the artist who does it, that I can't remember his name, and then obviously Edard have got theirs. You know, I still don't think companies have twigged on to the power of it, because what they're not thinking is a bigger picture of the merch. Obviously, Edard's hit onto something where, that's a really nice, I'll get a poster of that. So they've got another sale on top of their kit of the box art, of a poster or a picture or whatever you're going to get, yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the tin sign things and that, you know, they were probably a little bit more expensive, weren't they, that tin sign? But again, the power of merch is, you know...
That Mirage that was flying over the waterfall or cafe or whatever it was, that looked like it was peeing.
Oh, that was a Draken.
The Draken.
That Draken.
I wonder how many of them they sold because of that.
But surely, if they invested in a decent artist to do their box art, surely it would pay them back with probably sales of the kits if it's a decent kit. Because, you know, with Edard and Airfix, you do get a decent kit, don't you? It's not just selling, you know, tat in a shiny box.
Yeah.
But, you know, it sparks people's imagination, doesn't it?
I mean, instead
Absolutely,
of
it does. Yeah.
some lad who's got his GCSE in art, level 3 art, and they've just employed to draw a
but some, you know, I'm not being funny. Some of the box arts are just awful, aren't they? They're so uninspiring, and I think they could do better. I think, like you say, I think now as well, with online shopping more than going into a shop, I think it does need to stand out more than ever.
Yeah, I do as well. Yeah, I think because there's just so much choice now. When you're surfing the web, you know, a good box art stands out and draws you into it. You know, otherwise it's just it's another thumbnail. Let's face it. Yeah. So like everything these days, you need that grab to get the customer and say Edard have really nailed this, no problem at all. And other companies I think are getting into it as well. So, you know, and obviously Airfix are sort of legendary with theirs, and now with their digital art, all right, some of them might be flying in the wrong direction, but you know, they're usually pretty good.
Again, it all comes down to cost, Hunter. I mean, how much that B17, how much would they have paid that artist to have done that?
I would say a lot. The only thing I can talk of, obviously, we've commissioned, because this is part 2 of the question. If I just read it out, it goes, do the artists who create the box art have exclusive rights to the art? For example, can they sell their own artwork? I can answer that because obviously I've commissioned artwork. The Flory Models ones, for instance, up there, they commissioned by an artist who did them for us. We own the rights to it. So the artist is commissioned. He can't then go off and just sell that because I own the rights to it. And I've paid the said artist to do it, and that was the agreement for it. And, you know, we had it at mates rates, to be honest, those particular 4 that we commissioned, or 5 that we commissioned to do it. But it's still not massively cheap, you know, so because obviously you're paying for someone's time and it to be right. And to be honest with you, it's not the first one you see isn't the one that necessarily we go with, and some of them are spot on, no problem at all, and Alan used to do them for us, you know, unfortunately some of the other ones I'm looking at it again, don't like it, can we change this, can we do it, and he's having to redo it each time, isn't he, and he's taking it back and he's redoing it, well what about this, and I'm like and I'm a bit finicky with these things, so it's like, you know, it's can we do this and put this here or change this a little bit, and so obviously there may have been 10 or 20 versions of it going back and forth until it's correct. That's time. That's hours and hours going into it. So things like that aren't necessarily cheap. So I imagine for the artists like this, if it's a digital type artist, obviously it's easier to change things. But if it's a matte painted artist, for him to change is slightly different, isn't it? So that's going to be even more of a problem.
You have to make sure they're right, don't you? Because you don't want poor old Lynn looking like she's flying over with a broomstick over a waterfall, would you?
Well, no, this is true. It wouldn't work.
Wouldn't look right, would it?
I don't know. It might.
Yeah, Lynn on her broomstick. That's what we should have done with it, but no,
yeah.
we didn't. We gave her a beret instead. So, but no, it is. It's one of those things. It's an interesting conversation, but as I say, having done it obviously with the Flory logos and all the rest of it, it's one of those where there's a lot of back and forth. There's the money, the time that all goes into it, and all the rest of it. But once it's done, I own the rights to that particular one because I've commissioned it. It's not like if he'd given it to me, then technically he owns the rights to it. And he could then resell it and all things like that, I suppose. But yeah, that's the difference.
It's like anything
with this
you
one.
commission, isn't it? If you pay somebody to commission it, you own that. You own the rights. Like you being paid to build a model kit for somebody, they own that kit. They can do. You've got once it's left your grubby mitts and you've had your money.
Yeah.
That's it. You've done with it, haven't you? And it's like anything, isn't it? So yeah.
Anyway, Graham says, hi guys, quick question. What real colours would you use for the pale grey on the nose of an F104?
Is that the first week it was painted, or the second week it was painted, or?
No, it wouldn't have been. Don't forget, the noses, they were fiberglass, aren't they?
But don't they still change colours in the...
Well, they probably do fade out a bit and all the rest of it, but they don't paint them as such, do they? It tends to be LO natural on the old stuff. I know modern ones it's different now with ESA radars and stuff, but back in the day, I don't know. And also, it depends surely on the nation who's got it. Is it a European F104? Is it a US?
I would defer that question until tomorrow night when it's more a Thursday night question.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then we'll ask Nathan. Well, I'm getting out. I'll ask Nathan because he likes
Nathan
it.
he'll get his books out.
He'll get his book.
You did an F104. What one did you do yours? Your Luftwaffe one?
Grey.
And was it correct?
I'd say light aircraft grey. There you go. That'll do.
Well, I did mine the correct colour of grey. Was it grey aluminium on the underside?
Yes.
We had bigger discussions about that, didn't we?
Oh, that went on for weeks.
Is it grey? Is it silver?
We'll get back to you on that one, Graham, tomorrow night. I'll have a dig as well and see what it. To be honest, I've sold my European ones I had. They went off in the last auction, didn't they? So I haven't actually even got one here to check the instructions and see what Edard'd say it was. But never mind. Right, Robert says, hi Phil. Look, another question, colour question for Matt. That he's doing the 35th scale M60 that served in 1969 in Germany with a 3rd Armoured Division. What colour would you use for the primer and what colour for the top? I do like to use lacquer paints. I do remember the tanks part next to our battalion were painted in a much darker, almost black olive drab. Ooh. Any ideas?
Green.
Green.
That's how sick green.
Wouldn't it be like NATO? Were they standardised in 1969 to NATO type colours?
Don't know. I don't know. I'd have to do a bit of research, to be honest. I've got no idea.
Because NATO's olive green thing is very light, isn't it?
Again, I would shy away from going dark because it will look awful.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'd stick with, the base colour, but I'd lighten it up and modulate it. That's, But off the top of my head, I've got no idea. We might have to defer that to tomorrow so I could do a bit of research and I'll find out what, primer-wise, don't make any difference. Grey, green, pink, whatever.
Yeah.
Black. The primer is not going to matter because you're going to cover it with a dark green anyway, so it should have decent covering power. So I'd just go for grey primer so you can see any, imperfections before you put your top coat on. To be honest,
Unless you're planning to chip it through, but then they didn't really chip that much anyway, did they?
No.
I've been,
Especially in Germany.
excuse me, I've been going for black primer at the minute.
Yes. Black
be honest.
prime everything.
Because then it shadows, doesn't it? You've got shadows where you've got to get your airbrush and stuff. So the Land Rover's in black primer at the minute, so we'll see how well that covers with sand later.
20 coats later.
Yeah, 20 coats later.
Okay, Neil says, hi Matt, it's just noticed that ClearPop is releasing a 72nd, a 48th and a 35th scale version of the, how do you pronounce it? It's a Bayraktar?
Bayraktar.
A Bayraktar B2 drone, which for everyone else, that's the Turkish drone. The one with the funny tail in it, it's like that. It's like
Only know because of the song. Only know because of the song.
Yeah, right. Do you know anything about this kit? Do we know anything about the kit?
No, ClearProp from Ukraine, I know that much, but we can't get ClearProp anywhere on trade, so...
So what we're saying is ClearProp now are cashing in from the thing as well, because obviously they've been quite successful from what I've been reading, reports coming out of Ukraine, because they one of those that took out 2 gunboats. I'm pretty sure there was 2 of those took out gunboats the other day as well. So
What were initially taking out all the tanks, weren't they, until we got other ones as well, but yeah.
But no, I must admit, I wasn't aware of that one coming out as well. I can imagine, like we said before, after every conflict, once everything dust is settled and things like that, everybody will jump on it because it's now, it's current. So it's no different from when we went through the first Gulf War and Tamiya then released various armour bits, wasn't it? And the Academy did, because then we had things like in the second Gulf War, we saw the Warrior, we saw obviously all the Challenger tanks come out, and things
Bradleys,
like that, Desert Bradleys and everything.
Chalets and
yeah, absolutely. So give it a bit of time, we'll all get the in-country versions of will come out.
You can guarantee someone's doing a Ukrainian tractor, can't you?
Well, yes, that one will be coming out.
Mini art, telling you,
Mini art will be perfect for that.
If they ain't got them Ukrainian tractor out by end of the year,
yes,
I'll be surprised, shall we say?
Yes. I will be very surprised if they don't come out with something like that as well, or you don't get a dual box that will be a tractor with some bit of armour or a BMP or whatever it is being towed on it or something else.
Well, they're doing the BMP thing, aren't they? But they're doing the Ukrainian one.
Yeah.
Because I think that's in the works, or that's, I don't know. It's obviously they're doing one because I've seen that on social media. So yeah, the tractor, obviously. I mean, you can get the Asagawa tractor that you could do like a Yamaha. Is it a Yamaha tractor or?
I think so, something like that.
Yeah. Like that, obviously, And then I know there's some of the old resin kits. I can't remember. Somebody does an Eastern European tractor anyway. So there is kits out there if you did want to build a tractor.
Yes.
You get your Massey Ferguson.
That's it. Your John Deere's out there.
Your little grey tractor.
Most of the farm equipment they got out there is. I mean, they're the main producer of vegetable oil, aren't they, in Europe? So
well, that's why you can't buy it over in the supermarket. Sunflower oil, can't buy it down here. Love nor money. But you can buy vegetable oil, so it's like that'll do.
Yeah.
Wheat.
So their main.
Let's say they're wheat as well, aren't they?
Yeah,
like the
wheat.
bread basket, aren't they?
Yeah, so they've got. Yeah, it's not as though they're a third world country with broken down tractors. They're proper.
Oh, they've got proper gear.
Well, we know when we were over in Hungary, they have very large fields that go on as far as the eye can see, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, don't they have hedges in this country?
Yeah.
It's literally flat and just masses of fields. So
That's what was it the deer or something that was bouncing?
Yeah.
And we would
Yeah.
go, yeah, I can remember that now. But yeah, it was very flat and very.
It's very flat. And, yeah, they don't have hedges. Down
Yeah.
here, you can't go 10 feet without there being a hedge.
No.
Devon hedges, we're famous for it. But yeah, over there, don't have hedges. It's just massive flat plains. So, anyway, right, we'll leave it right there because we've gone over an hour.
Elsewhere?
It'll take me forever to edit and upload this now.
Chop it then, ain't you?
Yeah.
Half an hour.
I'll cut bits down, things we say we're going to make these half hour these days.
Yeah.
So, never mind. Good show as always. Don't forget, you get all the bits and pieces we spoke about before over at the PM store. So just pop over and grab them. And then obviously we've got our special section, which does get updated and changed. I'll give you another update what's going on there on the Friday show as well. But obviously keep an eye on the new arrivals area, and obviously the special offers area will change as well. And as I say, we have got new bits and pieces come in stock all the time. So just keep an eye on the store and anything else like that. Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
Good job.
Yep.
Right, we will be back with you tomorrow night live at 7:30 for members. So if you want to join us for that, it'd be lovely to have you along. If not, I'll catch you all on Friday for the Friday catch-up show. So till later, everybody. Happy modelling. Take care. Goodbye.
Bye.